Hi, friends. Welcome back. What the fuck do I have all of a sudden? Okay, great. Little hair in my mouth. Never hurt anybody. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Sunday, August 6th. It's a nighttime show. You guys told me you like nighttime shows better. Also, weekend show. So hopefully some people aren't at work. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on in the world of entertainment that we can't talk about. A lot of stuff going on in the world of entertainment that we can talk about, including updates to the Writers Guild strike. As you guys know, they went back to the table for the first time in their 94 days to that date as of striking. And apparently, apparently it was not everything that you could hope for and more, quote unquote, so many insulting and out of touch things were said in the meeting. So we will break that down and talk a little bit about that. Plus, I told you guys last week I was in Malibu and a dead body was found in a barrel. Now we have updates on who was in that barrel and what it is connected to, which is fucking wild and disturbing. Lizzo updates. Lizzo has responded to the 3 allegations or the lawsuit by 3 of her backup dancers. And I'm super curious your guys' thoughts on what's happening with Lizzo right now. The Jonathan Majors trial was pushed back, and we'll talk about a weird part of that trial and anything else you guys want to talk about today. So thank you for being here with me live. As you guys know, I am an actress who is right now following SAG guidelines and doing the best I can, or doing the best I can to interpret them. So I am not 100% out of work, but I am pretty out of work. And it is a really effing tough time. So much appreciated to everybody in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, in the super chats, people who have questions, comments, concerns, all of that. Also, for those of you guys who don't know, and I'll talk about this towards the end of the show again too, maybe throughout, I am now putting a lot of effort into my Patreon. It's been so nice to be back with people on the Discord. I'm in there multiple times a day, every day, starting a small but mighty community over there, plus creating weekly vlogs for you guys. Just a little bit behind the scenes this week. I'm going to work on it tomorrow. I'm featuring a couple of the things that I did this weekend, some stuff with my grandparents, more of me and talking through what my weeks look like and whatnot, which I've been stoked about, and dropping more photos over there. I dropped headshots over there on the anniversary of my mom's passing. I dropped photos, childhood photos of me and my mom, just more of a personal look into my life, and also doing weekly AMA streams over there as well. So if you're not already a patron, patreon.com/RoxyStryer. I'm so bummed that I ever kind of stopped putting the energy into Patreon. I wish I had continued to grow that community. It was such a strong community at first, and my attention was just pulled elsewhere, but I'm really dedicated to it now. And thank you to anybody who does go over there and joins us on patreon.com/RoxyStryer, or anybody here in the super chat, the Streamlabs. Speaking of which, Perseus Westbrooks, thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate you. Just no comment, just sending that love. And it means a lot to me and to everybody else who is here live with us on this August 6th. Happy Leo season, baby. Don't know shit about astrology. All I know is that Leos are the best. It's undisputed by me. Other people have disputed it. I'm not a Leo. I just fucking like them. Grammy's a Leo. Papo's a Leo. Sky is a Leo. Doreena's a Leo. Ashley's a Leo. Leo, chicken dinner. That's not an expression, but you guys, I'm going to do what I want. All right. So let's jump right into some of this. And again, shout out to everybody joining us live right now. I want to talk about the writer's strike. I want to start with actually a comment from somebody in the chat that says some of the writers' demands are not possible and they will have to concede on some of them. Sorry that you may not want to hear that, Roxy, but it's true. All right. It's the first time I've seen this person comment, and that's what you're coming in with. Like, I want you guys to remember that a lot of you are coming in hot about an issue that it's confusing why you have been, I don't want to say brainwashed, but I do, to like defend the billionaires. It's such a weird stance. Like, even if you believe that some of the demands are not possible, which is not a fact, um, unless you are the one of the 10 people that this is really about, the Igers and Zaslavs and Sarandoses of the world, what's your keyboard warrior deal right now? Being like, it is just not possible. It's wild. And I feel bad for you guys because, and this is why, like, what the billionaires do is working. This is something I was talking to my therapist about today. If you Google me, if you Google my net worth, it says that I have a net worth of $1 to $5 million. Not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I believe somebody's putting that information out there, right? And it's not me and it's not facts. I've never made that money in my lifetime. So I'm not sure how I'm going to pay my rent the next couple of months. So if I was sitting on $5 million, I don't feel like I'd be breaking out in hives every night with how stressed I am that I don't know I'm going to be able to continue to live in this city. So then you like look and it's like, but Roxy's an actress and she books all these things. She has $5 million. When in fact, I do not. I can't express that enough. It says, I think a lot of people believe that once you start booking, you are a millionaire, and that they believe that actors and hosts and writers and all of these people are rich. But we know the facts, right? We know that in the union, in the SAG Screen Actors Guild, there are 160,000 members, right? And of those 160,000 members, only 13% qualify for health insurance. In order to qualify for health insurance, you have to make $26,000 a year. So what that means is that 87% of actors are making less than $26,000 a year acting. So those are the facts. Let's talk about the updates for the writers, but I just want to say that before because I keep seeing all these people come in, and it's like being quiet during this time is an option. Standing up for the billionaires is such a weird choice, especially because they get to live a billionaire's life and you have to be home struggling to pay your bills. And if you're not home struggling to pay your bills, then like, why are you watching this show? I'm confused on the mentality of the writers won't get what they want. And what they're asking for is not ridiculous. And people who think so are uneducated on the subject matter. It's also a negotiation. So that's part of it as well. Thank you to Shane Canavan in here. Appreciate you. So much love to you. Thank you for the support. And thank you to everybody who helps us be a fan-funded platform. I love you guys, and you are helping me get through this time. So thank you. And again, for people who don't know, creators usually prefer Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, because the super chat goes about 50% of it goes to YouTube. So if you want more of your money to go to the creator, please take the extra second, go over to Streamlabs. I appreciate it. If you have any questions on any of this stuff or any things you want me to talk about, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Okay. So the writers actually went back to the table finally after over 3 months, and they this is an article from Hollywood Reporter that came out on August 5th, so yesterday morning. Writers blast latest AMPTP efforts to resume negotiations, insulting and out of touch. So also, I've been hearing a lot of people reporting on this, and for anybody who's at this at the beginning and doesn't know what's going on right now, because sometimes I see a few people being like, wait, what's happening? The writers have been on strike for over 3 months. They are fighting against several different things. A couple of the things that the writers and the actors are fighting for are livable wages, not being replaced by AI, residuals, meaning that the streaming services that these shows ultimately get played on over and over again, the creators, that the creatives, the actors, that they benefit from those streaming services as well, which is what a residual is. And there's also several other things going on. So again, that's the basics. Go back to some of my other shows if you want to hear more about exactly what it is that they are fighting for. But I'll continue to remind people that because it's a livable wage, not to be rich, a livable wage. This article says members of the Striking Writers Guild of America voiced their frustrations about the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, AMPTP, latest attempts to resume negotiations following a meeting on Friday. So this past Friday, there was the meeting. This article came out Saturday. That was designed to determine if there was a path forward. The Guild informed members Friday, day 95 of the strike, that the talks with the group that represents the studios and streamers produced no agreement. I mean, anybody could have known that this wouldn't produce an agreement yet, but it is a bummer how far away they still do seem. Included in the update to WGA members with the union's summary of the issues both sides plan to bring back to the table when negotiations formally resume. According to the Writers Guild memo, AMPTP is seeking to use the deal that the Directors Guild of America agreed to earlier this summer as a template for shared issues like pay increases, and expressed a willingness to increase their offer on a few writer-specific TV minimums, but not such core writers' issues as the minimum size of a writer's room or success-based residuals, among other topics. So let's break down what that means. For anybody who doesn't know, the Directors Guild of America took a deal and are not currently on strike. So while the screen actors are currently on strike and the writers are currently on strike, the DGA already signed a deal. And a lot of people have mixed feelings on this. A lot of people, especially the writers, felt hung out to dry because they felt like that the DGA should not accept a deal when the writers were not, especially when many of them can't be working right now. Anyway, that's not the main reason, but that they didn't feel like it was a fair deal. The directors are, a lot of the directors I talked to feel like they did receive a fair deal. Now, keep in mind, as you guys know, many directors are also producers. So the way that they're getting their money is different and their deal structures are different. So they might not need to fight the same fight that the actors are fighting or that the writers are fighting, because a lot of them are part of the producers guild as well, and they are making money on the same projects in different ways. Now, that's not everybody, but that's a lot of them. They already took a deal. It is what it is, but it is clearly not a deal that the writers are going to take. It's been abundantly made clear from the beginning. So at this point, 95 days in, for the studios to be like, okay, but what about what the writers did? It's like, so you guys had 3 months to think about this and you're coming back to us with the exact same thing that you initially came in with? What? Like, that's not so you haven't budged at all. You just think we should take what the directors take that we didn't take 95 days ago. What the fuck? So now we'll go into a little bit what that is. And listen, if you're in the stream just to fight with people, it's just too much. Live at the Roxy, not live at the U. Happy to have you guys participate. If you have things that you want to be shared, Streamlabs them in. Pay to play. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Otherwise, let's ignore any kind of trolling and just kind of let them talk to themselves, I guess, if they want to do that. Okay, so that's the first part of this. The part that says a willingness to increase their offer to a few writer-specific TV minimums, but not such core writer issues as minimum size of writer's room or success-based residuals. So let's break those down. Minimum size of writer's room is key here. Think about it. If you don't have a minimum size of a writer's room, then writer's room that used to have over a dozen people now can have 3 people doing the work of over a dozen people. Not just that, but this is how they do try to slip AI in here, where they say there's no minimum for a writer's room. So every show could have just one writer, just them and the AI machine and whatever it is. It's not, they cannot sign a deal without a minimum amount of writers. They can't. That's a non-negotiable for the writers. They cannot do that because everybody's jobs will be gone. There won't be enough jobs for people, and essentially the robots will take over, and the only people who will be able to survive are the showrunners that are employing themselves essentially by the studios. But the only people who can survive a tiny room like that, Ryan Murphy, Shonda Rhimes, all of those big names that we already know. You cannot have no minimum amount of writers in a room. It's crazy. You need a minimum amount of people for every job, and this is a really it's a non-negotiable. So for them to not budge on that, it's never going to work. Success-based residuals is the other main point here. If you have a show, you don't know how it's going to do. And if you should get paid more, the more people who see it and the more places it streams. So if your show, for example, is on a network, but then it performs well on streaming, because that's where it goes, because all of these are linked right now, right? Like the shows that you watch on ABC then go to Hulu, or take any of the things that are all linked with each other. Paramount, now the Showtime things go there, or CW used to go to Max. Now I don't believe all of it does, but some to Netflix, whatever. Nothing stays where it is anymore. They all go over to these streaming platforms. You need to get paid accordingly. And there's no transparency right now about how a show is performing. So a lot of these people don't even know how their shows are performing, and therefore cannot even get paid accordingly, which is ridiculous. There needs to be transparency there, and people need to be paid more if their show blows up. That's just a no-brainer. And for anybody to fight against that means that they don't understand the model. They don't understand the model of streaming or this new model of television. It's not the same that it was in the 1950s. We are in 2023. People are getting residual checks for 20 cents. It makes no effing sense on a show that's running 24/7 on a streamer. So it's insane. Okay. The article goes on to say that AMPTP has not made a comment yet to THR. They said this is coming from the Dan Signer, who is a WGA member. He said, so many insulting and out of touch things were said in the meeting, putting aside the supposedly complex issues. When it comes to pattern issues, suggesting that we would take the same terms the DGA inexplicably took while we're on strike in its 4th month is preposterous. It's essentially what I just said. It is preposterous. Like, you're coming back with the exact same thing. The article says the DGA got played so badly. That's Joe Russo, you guys know, said that. Quoting the WGA's Friday memo, added screenwriter Trevor Munson, friendly negotiation tip, never, all caps, say the words DGA deal again, because they're pissed. They're pissed that that's what's being offered after this amount of time. It's just fucking ridiculous. So that is some updates about what is going on with the writer's strike. Are you guys paying attention to this? Are you seeing this covered? It is wild to me how little it is being covered in mainstream media. The UAP hearings and the strikes not being, or strikes in general, including hospitality and previously what was going on with UPS and Teamsters. The fact that this is not being covered, and these are the people, there are millions of people being affected by the strikes this summer. Everybody's being affected by this. Our entire economy is being affected by this, right? We are losing billions of dollars because the entire entertainment industry is fucking shut down right now. This is a huge problem, and it just shows how much of our media is truly controlled by billionaires and by the top 1%. People who don't want us to be fully included on all of these issues and aware of everything that's going on. And that is why people are standing up for billionaires. I mean, imagine you hear all this and you're like, you know who needs my help? You know who I need to? It is 8 p.m. Pacific time, so possibly 11 on the East Coast. And I need to stand up for the billionaires, because if I don't, who will? Like, imagine being that person who doesn't care about people. Like, you care about Bob Iger or Zaslav. You care about Zaslav, who in the last 5 years made $500 million, $500 million. That person's money needs to be protected. But the hundreds of thousands of actors and writers living below the poverty line, working well over 40-hour weeks, the working class, you don't care about them. You just help the billionaire, must help billionaires. Like, babe, they're not going to give you any money for helping them. Like, is that the hope? Do you think if you stand up for the studios during this time, maybe, oh, maybe they'll like you? It's sad. It's like standing up for the high school bully so that you don't get bullied, but you're gonna get bullied anyway because you're not part of their club. You're not part of the cool kid club to them. You never will be. None of us ever will be. It's just, that's the truth, and that's a good truth. I shouldn't ever be a billionaire. I should be well off enough to have a beautiful life and provide and have a family, but you'll never see me standing up for, like, I we cannot let Zazoff lose a single dollar. Whoa. Think about it. It's just not, it makes no sense. It doesn't make sense. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. If you are in here standing up for the billionaires, you owe me money. You do. You owe me money. One Streamlab for the day. Let's go, John Lestrina, being my first and only Streamlab. He says, Streamlab Lestrima. That's what we should call him now. You're no longer Lestrina. You're a Streamlabs. It works better in my head. He said, would you believe I knocked him out with my charm? Letty Ortiz. There we go. I love to see it. Hell yeah, baby. Okay, so now that we've given updates on how effing insane these studios are, who have all of the money, who absolutely can afford. I mean, look at all the stats about, like, if they had just, like, you're going to lose more money doing this than you would if you had just agreed to what they had asked for. It's crazy. But anyway, now that we've talked a little bit about that, if you have further questions, send them in. Streamlabs.com/RC Stryer. I told you guys last week about something wild child that's disturbing and sad and bizarro and had me shook, which was that when I was in Malibu last week, there was all these sirens, and all of a sudden I asked one of the people working at the restaurant, why are all these sirens happening? What's happening here? And they were like, a body was found in a barrel right there on the beach, this, like an hour ago. And I was like, what? Now it came out, and law enforcement's investigating the connection between the body found in the barrel at Malibu Beach and Pop Smoke's murder. I believe we talked about that a while ago, maybe on the World Girls, but the body of the man that was found sealed, this is coming from Shade Room, sealed inside of the barrel on the beach may have had a connection to Pop Smoke's murder. According to a report from the LA County Medical Examiner coroner, the body discovered inside a 55-gallon drum floating in the water at Malibu Lagoon State Beach in July has been identified as 32-year-old, was it in July? Yeah, that last day of July, was identified as 32-year-old Javonta Murphy. Javonta was found naked and sealed inside the barrel. He suffered a headshot wound, and his cause of death is listed as homicide. Law enforcement discovered that Javonta is the brother of Jaquan Murphy, one of the 5 people arrested in Pop Smoke's murder. Jaquan was initially charged with attempted murder for Pop Smoke's death, but was later cleared. Sources tell TMZ that the LA County Sheriff's Department is currently investigating the possibility that Javonta's murder was in retaliation for Pop Smoke's murder. Sometimes I just, like, I don't get it. I just don't get, the lack of respect for life when some people are fighting so hard to live every day. I'm reading right now Man's Searches for Meaning, which is Viktor Frankl's book. Viktor Frankl is a Holocaust survivor, and about a fourth of the way through, I'm listening on audio. The book's amazing, and I'll tell you guys more about it when I finish it, but these are people who, like, were put through the worst situations that anybody could ever be through, and every day fought to live another day. And it's fucking disgusting and disturbing to see human life be treated so poorly across the board, with people just murdering each other for fucking no reasons. And you can say there's reasons, but what was the fucking reason? For you guys who don't know, Pop Smoke is a rapper. He became famous a few years ago, and then he was killed in 2020. I do think we talked about it on World Girls, possibly during the pandemic. Maybe it might have been right before that. Ugh. Just horrible. Convicted as an accomplice was an unnamed 17-year-old who pled guilty. The shooter was an unnamed 15-year-old. The 17-year-old had 4 years and 2 months in juvie. They were charged with first-degree murder, the shooter, with special circumstances. And now possibly this being retaliation. I don't know whether that means that happened back then or how long the body was there. It's just awful. Awful. Like, just the lack of understanding how rare life really is. You hear just these stories, and I'm on the beach living my life, stressed about my shit, and everybody else there doing their own thing. And there's just a dead body in a barrel because somebody shot this person in the head. For fucking what? For what? It's disgusting and sad, and this world has gotten so scary sometimes. And there's so many people who fight so hard to be here, people who have diseases, who are sick, people who are born into horrible circumstances, people who are just so much worse off, that are truly every day fighting to live another day. And then we have other people just fucking killing each other. Horrible. So that's fun part of my stream. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I was there on the beach when this was found. Just was wild, so close. Going back into Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Shout out to Ash. Thank you for the support, Ash. Ash says, I think more people should just try to be born rich. Should just try being born rich. Yeah, let's just try it. It seems much more convenient than working hard and struggling and caring about people. You're right. Who wants to work hard, struggle, and care about people when you can just be born a billionaire? You guys know I've told you before, I do have one friend who I really do love, and he comes from a billionaire family, and they do give not to make excuses, but a ton. But it is so weird during this time period as I'm just like raging war against the people, and you're just like, God damn it, who should be a billionaire? Nobody should be a billionaire. Millionaires, absolutely, do your damn thing, way to get it, but like, what's the point in being a billionaire when people are fucking struggling so much? It's just, ugh. Okay. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Mike Joyce says, are there any unbiased sources to get updates on the negotiation? The trades are owned by the AMPTP, and SAG/WGA aren't exactly unbiased when they give updates. I think you need to look at facts, right? When SAG and WGA put out facts, which will be like, here's what was asked for, here's what was responded to. And they release that information. Read it yourself and see what's being asked and think to yourself, are these fair requests? And then see what's being answered. I think that is the best thing you can do is read the facts, like instead of people in the chat or whoever being like, well, this is impossible or this is super possible. Read the facts. Read how much money they're making. Read what they're hiding and attempt to read the facts. So I think that even when you look at the Variety, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, or you look at your favorite actors who are posting statistics, Viola Davis, Sarah Silverman, or you look at me, or you look at any of the other people you see at the picket lines, or you look at the WGA East or WGA West Instagram or SAG's Instagram, read the facts and then make your own conclusion on them. That's what I think is the best way to do it. Thank you for the question, though. It's an important question. And thank you for the support. All right, Jimmy Nails with that big support. Thank you, babe. Appreciate you, Jimmy. People, no, he said POP people. What is POP people in this country are rightly brainwashed into thinking that they are temporarily displaced billionaires. It's fucking pathetic. Much love to you and the rock stars. I know, it's like, it's so, how did the billionaires convince poor people that I just don't know. And what is POP people? Is that a real word or what did you mean to say? I need to know. Yeah. Wait, Sam says, oh my God, what's happening right now? What's happening? Am I missing something? Oh, it's a typo. Okay. I do it all the time. I'm a typo queen. Jake Yakovit in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy. Thank you. Jake says, I really got to be more careful about where I dump my barrels in the ocean. Too soon, Jake. Too fucking soon. Yeah, I wonder how long that barrel was there, though. Jake said, yeah, bad timing. It's okay, not all jokes land. I did this weekend. I went and saw Mark Ellis on Friday at the Comedy Store, and I went and saw Kate Mulligan at the West Side Comedy Club on Saturday, which is really cool. And they both did great. And yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit in my weekly vlog if you guys want to check that out on Patreon, which I'll drop in the next couple days. Yep. All right, let's see what else is going on with you guys. Don't forget streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Let me know your questions, comments, concerns about it all. All right, let's talk about any updates on Lizzo. This was such a bummer. You guys heard all about what's going on with Lizzo and the 3 backup dancers that have accused her of um, of sexual. It's not misconduct. The um, one of them said that she feels like she was shamed for her weight. They talked about the banana, having to eat a banana out of somebody's vagina at a sex show, being shamed or spoken about their virginity when they didn't give consent to that. There's a lot of different stories that have come out. Lizzo has said that this is not true. This is not right. She is fighting back against these allegations. And then there are everybody else. Some people siding with her, some people not. And I think she lost 150,000 followers on Instagram. This is what Hollywood Reporter reported. They said this is the title. Her career is not done. Despite damaging allegations, some see a path forward for Lizzo. The her career is not done was a quote. Let's see what this article has to say. When Lizzo's Watch Out for Big Girls reality show championing body positivity and inclusivity captured an Emmy last year. Remember that speech? Perhaps more notable than its upset win was the entertainer's emotional acceptance speech, calling the trophy for outstanding competition series nice after beating out extremely popular programs, RuPaul's Drag Race, The Voice, Amazing Race, Top Chef. Lizzo said, "When I was a little girl, all I wanted to see was me in the media. Someone fat like me, black like me, beautiful like me." Closed her speech by pointing to her cast of plus-size female dancers of color who cheered loudly from their seats. Quote, 1 year ago, these women were filming this television series that would change their lives, television show that would change their lives forever. They are Emmy Award-winning superstars who are going on a world tour. Make some noise for my big girls. I love you guys so much. But almost a year after that defining moment, 2 dancers who appeared on Watch Out for the Big Girls, as well as another Lizzo dancer, filed a lawsuit against the Grammy-winning performer, accusing the singer and employees of Big Girls tour of racial, religious, and sexual harassment. Thank you for the word harassment, which I couldn't think of a minute ago. Lizzo spoke out Thursday morning, assuring fans in a post on social media that there is nothing I take more seriously than the respect we deserve as women in the world. She also called the allegations as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous not to be addressed. Yet experts say Lizzo will have to go beyond statements such as that, in which she declared she is neither the victim nor the villain in this scenario if she wants to restore not only her career, but also her status as a global symbol of body empowerment. This is coming from Roxane Gay, the author, said, quote, "I think that she should have had a better response and she knows better." She's written in support of Lizzo in the past, pointing to the way Lizzo course corrected last year when she immediately replaced language in her song Girls that was singled out for being an ableist slur. Quote, "There was just no taking of responsibility, no direct engagement with the accusations, and no apology. I think we all know how the court system works, so I doubt she could offer the statement that people would have liked to have seen from her legally speaking, if she doesn't want to just settle, which she can just honestly apologize, settle, and move on, but we'll see what happens." What do you guys think about this? Do you think there is a way forward? What do you think is going to happen here? What do you want to see happen here? I think it's very difficult because once your image is kind of changed of somebody, it's changed. She really didn't apologize. She really did say this isn't true. Saw the women speaking on it. They, of course, feel gaslit by her comments. Man, been such a Lizzo fan for such a long time. It's a bummer to hear about some of these things. I am curious what else comes out during this time period. What do you guys think? Do you think that she will have a career moving forward? Would you support her? Would it take an apology? Would it take something more? What do you guys want to see? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. While you guys are thinking about that, Another issue that we have talked about on this show previously, but haven't brought up in a little bit, is the Jonathan Majors trial. And I don't know where I was that I completely missed this, but Jonathan Majors' trial is pushed to September 6th, which came out. So while I was looking, okay, curious why this trial was pushed, I learned something that I was not aware of, which is that Jonathan Majors is dating Megan Good. Did you guys know that? Did you guys miss that like I did? People Magazine put out an article that's said Megan Good's friends respecting her decision as she gets more serious with Jonathan Majors. This is coming from June 28th. Said Megan Good's friends are respecting her decisions regarding who she chose to date. A source tells the actor, close to the actress, tells People that amid the ongoing controversy and legal woes surrounding Good's boyfriend, Jonathan Majors, it's obviously not the best situation, but they're letting her make her own decisions. It's been a little stunning to see her go from ex-husband Devon Franklin with faith at the center of their marriage to John, but also understandable why'd she go for someone who's totally different after being with the same person for so long and not having it work out. And then the way I saw this was that Megan's been accompanying him and plans on accompanying him to court. What? It's just so ugh. Fucking love Megan Good. Yuck. I wonder what this trial would be like if I was Megan Good's publicist. Not that's the most important part of this issue, but if I was, I would say, you are not stepping your motherfucking ass in fucking court right now. Do not do this to our career, Megan Good, or your career, Megan Good. Please, oh please, do not be seen as women are accusing him of being an abuser. Do not be seen standing by his side, which ultimately looks like you do not believe these women, or you do and are standing by him anyway. It's just such a bad look. I can't imagine a world in which this is a good look for her. Obviously for him either. And again, it's not the most important part of the story, but how did I have no idea that they were together? How did I miss that? Well, I did. So I did. Anyway, I guess you miss things sometimes. Broken clock is right twice a day, and a non-broken clock is never wrong. Seems like I've lost it. So let's move the fuck on. I just want to say, by the way, it is currently 8:30 on the West Coast. Huge shout out to you guys for everybody watching this on a Sunday night, being here, supporting me. For everybody in the Streamlabs, shout out to Jake Yacovetta, to Ash, to Jimmy Nails, to Mike Joyce, to John Lestrina, to the people in the super chat, Perseus Westbrooks, Shane Canavan. Thank you guys so much. And to everybody in the chat, thank you for being here with me. I am making this major push over to my Patreon. If you want to be on Patreon, chatting in the Discord, seeing the videos, the photos, doing more live streams with me, and Ask Me Anything series, please go over to patreon.com/Roxy Stryer. Also, if you want to see me this week, let's see, tomorrow I will be, well, I'm not sure the dates yet, but I'll keep you guys posted if you're following me on Patreon. But this week I'll be doing a World Girls Patreon, Roxy Stryer Patreon stream. I'll also be doing the Wednesday YouTube World Girls show. I'll be taping a couple Real Rejects things, so continue to look out for me there. Only Stupid Answers on Friday. Everything has been pivoting. We're talking about all different kinds of stuff, so it definitely will be an interesting week. And yeah, those are just some of the things. So be on the lookout all week long. And if you're watching this after the fact and you Streamlabs in, I will read it on the next show. Otherwise, chat along or write in the comments your thoughts, other things you want me to cover this week, and I'll take a look at that, or let me know in the Discord. Okay, so much love to all of you guys. Stay safe, stay sane. Put down the toilet seat and live. We don't want this flumes. Don't try out the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. wherever you're on the rainbow. We love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. Golden sparkles for the Zen one himself, Glenn Caesar. We are thinking about you every day. We hope you're okay. We stand with the unions. We stand with the strike. We know that it has to happen because otherwise people will not be able to survive. So that much love, and I will see you guys like pretty much every day this week. Later.